Alright, I'm Max McNown. My song is A Lot More Free, and you are listening to iHeartRadio's Ask Anything Chat. Thank you so much to Romeo from Most Requested Live for having me on the show tonight. Alright, first question. Colin from Los Angeles. How did the song come together? What came first, the lyrics or the music? The lyrics definitely. Well, actually, it was kind of a combination. It started out as a song that was written. It was a poem that I had with a little bit of a melody inside of my notes page, and it was, "How could I have known when you told me it was over? I'd be better off without you." And we were writing that type of song. And then we were about 2 hours in, and we're like, man, this isn't working. And my friend Steve Fee walked into the separate room, and he just the lights were off, and he just went quiet for a second, and he came out and he's like, "I think I have something that could lend itself to your belt." And I was like, "That sounds cool." And he just said, "I'm a little bit hurt, but a lot more free," and that's where it started. Alright, Sarah from Memphis, Tennessee. How did you get signed? I have a very unique story. My uncle has been in the label industry for a long time, and he's worked with a lot of Christian and metal groups. And I basically, when I released my first song, Freezing in November, with a coworker from Starbucks, I got 1 million streams, and I guess it just did really well early on. And it ended up getting his attention, and he decided to do a couple songs with me, and the 6th song that we did together was A Lot More Free. Rebecca from Detroit, Michigan. What music do your parents listen to? A lot of the stuff that I was raised on, so Jack Johnson, Ray LaMontagne, John Foreman, Amos Lee, Matt Carney. Those are kind of some big ones, to name a few. Natalie from Boston. Who would you want to collaborate with? My favorite artist for a long time has been Noah Kahan, and I think he's one of the greatest lyricists of today, and I would love to collaborate with him. Alright, Jackie from Mount Juliet, Tennessee. Alright, not too far from me. What made you move to Nashville? Nashville is where the concentration of lots of producers and songwriters are, and it's kind of a great place to be when you're trying to get started in music. Alright, Sabrina from Melbourne, Florida. Where do you go on vacation to? I am a sucker for pine trees. My dream vacations are typically going back to the West Coast, seeing my family, seeing my dogs, and going to the beach towns. The beach towns in Oregon are incredible. Alright, Ivan from Annapolis. Do you play any sports or have any hobbies? I played sports all growing up. Football was my favorite. I had a couple injuries, and everybody else grew and got faster, and I didn't. So I kind of got left behind in that scenario, and I decided music was for me. Taylor from Colombia. Loved the story I read about you and meeting Princess Madeline. How was Sweden? I didn't get to explore Sweden as much as I wanted to. Sweden was absolutely incredible. The show was one of my favorite of all time, and meeting royalty was really, really cool experience. That's going to be some fun dad lore when I'm older. But outside of that, I didn't get to do much exploration. Shelby from Jacksonville. First concert you went to, the best concert you went to. Fun fact about me, before I performed, I'd only seen one concert in my life. First concert you went to, the best concert you went to. Fun fact about me, the second show that I had ever witnessed was technically just me playing one. I only went to one show in my life, that was NF, and I absolutely love him still. And I didn't go to many concerts growing up, actually. Alicia from Mobile, Alabama. Do you have a nice set of wheels? I have a Jeep Wrangler, and yeah, that's what I'm wrecking. Max from London. Oh, a fellow Max. Hello, fellow Max. What is your favorite album of all time and why? My favorite album of all time is probably You Get What You Give by Zac Brown Band. It was the soundtrack to all of my favorite and most nostalgic vacations of my lifetime. My dad played it when we took the RV out and on all of our boating trips and camping, and it was just You Get What You Give, Zac Brown Band. Sophia from Springfield. Have you ever been in a Bass Pro Shops? Yes, I have. Next question. Samantha from Albany. Okay. What kind of environment do you like to be in when making music? Anything you have to have when making music? I don't necessarily have to have anything. The environment I'm typically in when I'm writing like my own lyrics and my own poetry is always something involved in nature. Whether it's driving in a beautiful, scenic freeway on the way from Bend, Oregon to Portland, Oregon, or driving over to Yellowstone, Montana. Like, I've had a lot of my poetry that has inspired a lot of the songs today are from those long drives and from different hikes and camping trips. Seth. Is that Greenbrier? All right. Seth from Greenbrier. What is your favorite place to eat in Nashville? I am a diehard Frothy Monkey fan. I absolutely love Frothy Monkey. I'm trying to think of what else I really love in Nashville. I like a lot of places. Biscuit Love, great spot, and then Red Bicycle Coffee has my favorite burrito with hot honey. Oh, so good. Emily from Toronto. I want to come back to Toronto. Emily, if you were locked in a room with 3 other people, who would those 3 people be? That's a great question. Probably my dad, my brother Brock, and oh man, I don't know. Probably my mom, just so we could all try to escape together, I guess. It's kind of a crazy question. Alright, Leah from Milwaukee. What's your favorite junk food? Snickers. Done. Danny from Minneapolis. How would you pimp out on your tour bus? Flames, fins, spinners? Oh man. I'm not a big showman when it comes to that stuff, so I think probably just like a cool Max McNown logo on the front and back, and maybe like an all-black bus, just blacked out, would be really cool. Jennifer from Portland, Oregon, my homeland. What website/app do you check out first every morning? I want to lie and say the Bible app, but the reality is Instagram. But I try to, it's either Instagram, TikTok, or the Bible. Alright, Ainsley from Murfreesboro, Tennessee. What is your favorite part of touring and why? Seeing people emotionally moved in the crowd, whether that's crying or laughing or smiling or jumping up and down. Just seeing people's reactions and people singing along with me in the crowd is unlike anything I've ever experienced in my life. Cheryl from Toledo. If your tour bus pulled up to a 7-Eleven, what would be the first 5 things you would buy? First of all, I'm not buying 5 things from 7-Eleven when I pull in, but Snickers, body armor, a gallon of distilled drinking water, a Gold Peak iced tea, and a black coffee. I love some gas station coffee. Amy from Lincoln. How much equipment do you have to lug around when you're on tour? I have wonderful bandmates that do most of the lugging, and I just have my guitar pretty much. All right, I believe that's Dinah or Dina from St. Petersburg. Socks or no socks? Man, I'm a sock guy. I'm a sock guy through and through, but I did have the wonderful experience opening for Billy Currington, and he was barefoot on stage, so that, maybe that'll inspire me when I come to Florida to just take the shoes off and just let the dogs breathe. All right. Thanks again to everybody who sent in questions. Thanks Romeo and his crew at Most Requested Live for your support. And again, my new song is called A Lot More Free, and I am Max McNown. Have a good one.